Hi everyone, I'm Ron,
And I'm Denise.
and together we are DNR Travel. Today's video is going to talk about the importance of using a travel agent.
Right after this.
1002. It's better in the Bahamas.
All right, welcome back. I get a lot of times when people ask me, they'll tell them I have a travel business, and they'll go, well, doesn't that, isn't that not around much anymore, travel agents and stuff like that? And they always say, can't you book everything on the internet
Right.
and do it all yourself? And I know what I tell them, but what would you say?
What do you tell them?
I tell them, yeah, you could drive a car with your feet if you want to, but don't mean you should.
Right.
But no, I basically tell them that you can do a lot of things online by yourself, but when it's just booking a flight and a hotel room, yeah, go for it.
Right.
But when you're trying to book an actual vacation, it goes. It's a little bit more that goes with as the bikers go past the window here. But it's more to it to me when you want details and things, that you might not know about, because the websites are not going to tell you all the little intricate details, because a travel agent is going to have a lot more resources than what you can find online.
And I'm sure people probably ask you or maybe assume that you have to pay for a travel agent service.
Right. Some people seem to know that most travel agents don't charge extra fees. Some do. Most that I know don't. We don't. We get paid by the vendors.
Right.
So the vendor is a commission that's built in already.
It's already built into the price, whether you book directly through the cruise line or if you book through a travel agent. That commission's already built in. So either the cruise line is going to keep it or it's going to go to the travel agency that booked the cruise.
Right. And so that was the biggest thing. I used to be in the mortgage business. I used to compare it to that too. Sometimes I use that as an example. I'll tell people, when you go buy a house, you can look for a house on your own. You don't have to use an agent. The seller pays the agent, but a buyer's agent, you don't get paid. They get paid also from the sellers. Like we get paid from the vendor, the cruise line, the resorts, stuff like that.
Why not take advantage of that service?
Of somebody that knows what they're doing, probably knows the area that you're looking in, and probably can even get you listings that are not online. They call them pocket listings. Sometimes they'll know about a property that's becoming available and it's not even posted yet. So I kind of compare that. You don't pay that agent when you're a buyer. You do when you're a seller, but not when you're a buyer. So why wouldn't you use that service? Same thing with a travel agent. What about the perks? Can you do anything more for a customer that comes to you than them going, like say in the cruise example, going in and booking it themselves?
Absolutely. Our agency has a really good relationship with the cruise lines, so therefore we have group space that's available that's not open to just anyone booking online. You have to book with that travel agency, with us in order to get those rates. And sometimes they're thousands of dollars less, or you get more perks, more amenities booking with an agency into a group or something.
So a little more detail on that. What does that mean? Group? You say group space? So
You're not part of an actual group.
Right.
But when sailings come out, the itineraries come out, which are usually a couple years ahead, if not more. The cruise lines, our agency buys just space, and they buy just bulk, number of cabins in different categories. You're not part of any group. You don't eat together. You don't sit together. You don't do things together. You just are part of that group pricing that gives you those greatly discounted rates.
So basically, to kind of sum it up, the cruise line basically, not the cruise line again, I say what you did. Our agency will basically buy, say, a block of rooms at a deeply discounted price that we're allowed to offer because the cruise ships knows we can sell that space, and so they block off a certain amount of rooms that we get at a discounted price, and just by you calling us and taking advantage of that, you get that price without having to be actual part of a physical quote unquote group. The group just means that we bought a block of rooms at a resort, at a on a cruise, and you just get the discount for that, and you know, using a travel agent. That's one of the major reasons that, you know, you should use a travel agency, right?
Right. And one of the other things that is a huge benefit is if you book directly through the cruise line and the price of your cruise goes down, the cruise line's not going to call you and say, hey Ron, you know, the price of your cruise went down, we're going to subtract this from what you owe or from what you already paid and give you a refund or take it off of your balance. They're not going to do that.
They ain't gonna call me?
No. But we have a tool with our agency that monitors the pricing so that the pricing goes down. We get a notification, and really the customer doesn't even have to be involved. I get a notification, I can call the cruise line, get the difference from, you know, what the price was to what it is now, get that adjusted, and that either takes away from what they owe.
Right, they could probably use that money savings that they didn't even know they were going to get and put it towards an excursion or something.
Short
like
excursions,
that.
Exactly.
Who knows? But yeah, so that's to me one of the biggest advantages. What else you can think of for calling DNR Travel or any agency? I'd rather people use a travel agent than trying to book on their own. But you know,
just
they call us or
with the
somebody
experience,
else.
we also have a lot of access to all the different itineraries with just a couple of clicks. We're able to see everything that's going on in a certain month or at a certain port and things like that, where it takes the consumer a lot more time to do that. So just having the tools at our fingertips to be able to,
which is convenient for the customer.
Oh, definitely.
Because they don't have to do that stuff. You know, I really think, number one, since we take price out the way, because I think that's the main reason why people won't use a travel agent, because otherwise I don't see, it doesn't make any sense. We already said you're not going to pay anymore. In all cases, if you use us, you're not going to pay anymore. Use somebody else, you might, but
and we could maybe get you a better deal than booking it through the
right.
A lot of times.
So you take that out of the equation, cost
completely.
Now, I also, my first thought is someone to talk to in case something happens, something goes wrong.
We are like an advocate for the customer, for the people sailing on the cruise. So if something doesn't go right, or maybe you get there and you've paid for your gratuities up front and it's not showing that, we're always the ones that can go to bat for you with the cruise lines and make sure everything goes smoothly. And something else that I want to just touch on, a lot of times, you know, I have to call the cruise lines to get a question answered or check on something for a customer, and sometimes we'll wait online just to speak with someone 30 minutes to an hour, almost every time.
Right.
And that just saves the customer from having to call and do that. They can, you know, email me, text me, or whatever. If they have a couple questions, I can call and sit online. So that's saving, you know, you as the customer time, you know, precious time that you're sitting on hold waiting to ask a simple question.
Right. And I really think that the cruise lines and the resorts kind of push people to use travel agents, probably for that reason, because inexperienced traveler or even a seasoned traveler, they're going to call probably a whole lot of times with a lot of questions, where we can eliminate probably about 90% of their questions. And anything we don't know, if it's very specific, we can call, and it makes that time that the cruise line
is answering those simple questions.
Okay, so that's I think we touched on most of the reasons why you should definitely use a travel agent. You know, I'll put our number below here to give us a call. But we also want to mention something that we have coming up in October, a cruise that we have going on.
and that's our group cruise. And what that means is you'll just be joining DNR Travel. We already have some folks booked to go with us, but we're doing the Mariner of the Seas. Mariner, which is Royal Caribbean, and it has had a $120 million renovation to it. It's going to be going to Coco Key, which is Royal Caribbean's private island, which they're in the process right now of doing a $200 million renovation to that island.
And around that time, it'll almost be done too. I mean, about 90% done.
Yes, when we go, the only
slides.
things that's not going to be done, I think, are the over-the-water cabanas.
Oh, okay.
And other than that, I think everything is going to be done. But that place is going to be amazing.
Yeah, short little 4-day cruise. We wanted to do something that was like not a 3 day, too short, but not a 7-day where, it gets pricier. So we're just trying to get as many people to come on out and join us. Just give us a call if you want some more details. Yeah, we're gonna meet a lot of our customers. We got a lot of friends and family coming too, so should be a good time, and we invite everybody to come along with us. So until the next time,
make cruising your happy place.
1002. It's better